Alright, you guys, welcome to the very first NASCAR Heat 4 talk show for the Menards Cup Series. I'm here, Nick 2019 champ, with my friend and co-owner, Josh Browning. Good afternoon, Josh.
Good afternoon, Nick.
Alright, so we are heading to Talladega, which will be the last race before the playoffs in this league. I am, for once, excited to see what these playoffs will be in store for this league.
I mean, it's gonna be wild. We're gonna see some new faces out here next season driving for so many different teams. But now we have to be focused on the playoffs this season and who we think will possibly win the championship, maybe advance, maybe some surprise shockers in the playoffs. We might see some rivalries in the playoffs that would lead to the championship, and I mean, this could be very, very aggressive and crazy
And now,
towards the end of the season.
think about it, going with these 16 drivers, one driver, each round will contain, it will be there will be, I'm going to guess, 4 drivers for the final 4, or maybe I'm thinking the 4 who are going to get out probably wrecked because, he hasn't raced. Boogeyman, I'm thinking, I don't know, I feel, man, there's so many good guys who we know, they know how to get the stage, but they can't get it done. They know they can't get it done sometimes. But these will be the 16 drivers who will fight if we get this is as of right now. These drivers are in the playoffs. Josh will be first. Awesome, Pads, Jam, me, ECC, NMG, Nilo, Joey, Strange, Patch, J Cool, Confetti, Derby, Wrecked, and Boogeyman will be running. Now, this is as of right now. Now, once we go into these races, who do you think's gonna have what strengths do you think who do you think's gonna have the strength in each race?
I think I have to go with some solid drivers here who've been running well all season long, getting top 5s all season. That's awesome, Josh. Jam getting some top 5s out here. Nick trying to tar us out here, trying to get good top 5s. Who else do I think is a solid driver?
Well, I think
ECC,
Pads.
Joey. Go ahead.
Pads, he's been really good, Pads, remember, he started the season off perfectly. He won first 5 stages of the season, and he dominated and he won the 500, and he got himself locked in early, but it doesn't mean he still has a chance to find a way to get to victory lane.
Exactly. Some of these drivers that are going to be in the playoffs don't even have a win this season. So could they become first-time winners out here? That is the question.
Well, think about it. Talladega is known as for first-time drivers. Now going into Talladega, what do you expect? We're gonna have the big one early on, or do you think it's gonna happen when it is gonna happen?
From a driver's point of view, some of the drivers want to see it later on instead of early, because that's how drivers will lose a lot of points because they need those stage points and stuff. So I think it could be later on, mainly in the final stage. We may see in stage 2, but yeah, it's gonna be pretty nuts.
And once we go to Talladega, you can find a partner wherever you go. You can go with any manufacturer, but you have to have that draft, because if you lock bumpers, you can't get a penalty. You're gonna get penalized for that.
And like I said, if you go below the double yellow line and you pass someone on the last lap, let's say, you'll still get a penalty. That's what some drivers have to watch out for, going below the double yellow line. I know people like to block aggressively early in the race. Not saying any names, but there's a lot of drivers that do that. and most drivers just get mad and they can't handle it and deal with it.
Right,
Because I
and
wouldn't want to deal with it. I'm pretty sure a lot of other drivers don't want to deal with it. So I
no.
mean,
And going, as we've talked before, going into these last few races, Strange, by the way, it will be next week. Thank you for joining, though. Going into the last 3 races, I have announced that I will be going full-time with a new team with a 3-car organization. That will be Flex Fuel Racing. I've been trying to get that team some money, but we have not got any races in. The cars, we haven't tested them out yet, but I will be doing Flex Fuel Racing next season because it will be a 3-car organization. And, you know, going from my point of view, I know it's a big jump, but it's a decision I want to make because I've had so much, because ever since Ross Chastain ran the Flex Fuel car, I was like, hey, why not Flex Fuel Racing? And earlier in the week, I talked to JD Merce. I talked to Johnny Davis earlier, and he said, you know, I know we're in the Xfinity Series side, but let's move up to the Cup side, and you can have that team. And we agreed. So, and I know it's going to be a big jump from going from the grade 24 to the next level, and I know it's going to hurt so many fans going to see me leave there.
well, I mean, if it works for you, then it works for pretty much everyone.
Right.
But my question is, what numbers will you have on that team, and who would you like to see on that team?
Well, we still don't know quite yet what we're thinking, but I'm gonna have probably the 01, but 99, because 99 was a number I drove on Heat 3, and yes, Strange, you can create a team, but I drove the 99 and I was like, screw that. So, and it will be Chevy's. Expected to drive my team. I don't know, because it's still to be determined, because earlier in the week we talked about how me and John Davis were like, hey, look at this kid, why don't you pick him up? And I was like, it's still a decision, it's still early, because next season, in the off season, it's going to come down to whether I trust that person or not. So, because I feel like I could put the team into a victory and probably give it to a championship like Fernando Rowe.
I mean, like, this team may become a big thing next season, and what I would want, from a owner, team owner point of view, like, if I was an owner and I owned a team, the drivers I would like are clean drivers, winners, and people that know how to drive. So one of them could be Awesome, ECC, Nick, and then GU.
Right.
Clean drivers, people that know how to drive, people that can lead the team to victory lane. So those are like drivers that I'd love to see on my team. And yeah, so I mean, we'll just have to wait and see what will happen this next season. So I mean, we're gonna see a lot of crazy things.
And think about it, next season, there will be some changes, like as you've seen, like 5 or less, 1 car caution, 5 or more, 2 cars, and probably next season, this has been officially been confirmed. If we take the white flag and the caution comes out and there's someone wrecked, whoever took the lead at the white flag will be the winner. We will slow it down. We will we will do what they did. But whoever was out front before, like when the time of caution came out, that will be the winner. Because that happened at ISM when Josh wrecked and I called caution, and like no one and everyone
It just became a complete mess.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
And everyone was arguing, saying that they won and stuff when they weren't even close, and then it was pretty much an argument between you and Jam, for who won the race. But we all know who deserved it and who had it at the line,
and
and it was obviously Nick, who beat him to the line, from my point of view, and obviously got him. So I mean.
yeah, as we will have a rule book now because this season this is the first season of this league, and for Nick, this is his first league. This is his first league on Heat 4, and he's just getting used to it. He's just getting used to like the pause button and and I mean, he didn't know what he was doing. So and so yeah, he's just learning. So it's nothing wrong to learn. So
Yeah, I mean it's just a process that'll take a little while, but Nick's doing a phenomenal job right now with holding his league and keep it. We have 20 drivers that in this league, and right now some of those 20 drivers are phenomenal drivers, people who know how to drive and get some wins out here for the Menards Cup Series. But the main thing I want to see out here is people having fun, respecting each other, being nice to each other, getting along. That's one of the things I'd love to see. And if we don't see it, well, that sucks. And what I would love to see out of these drivers is clean racing. I want to see people getting along, having fun. Just getting the main thing is pretty much getting along and stuff. So
now going into the playoffs, I know I've said this, but we start at Kentucky, which is a shocker because you would usually see it in the regular season. But remember, the Xfinity Series had this start their playoffs. Remember, they started this thing in 2016, then started out and then ended it in 2017. Then we head to Martinsville. I mean, that's usually in the round of 8. You don't expect it in the start of this playoffs, and then you head to the Brickyard. I mean, that's a beautiful track. You're gonna win at Brickyard, and then 4 drivers are going to get eliminated. Then, I mean, that's your one chance. If that's two historical tracks back to back. You could either win at Grandfather Clock and get yourself in, or you could win and kiss the bricks at the Brickyard and still get in. But my thing is, if you're gonna race at either one, you just gotta be careful of your tire wear and your fuel. I mean, I have a feeling that tire wear might be a factor at Martinsville because it's a short track. Tire wear might go down fast.
I mean, we might see some people run into each other, like what they always say. The first tap, it's okay. The second tap, the drivers are giving you a warning, and then the third tap, that's when they just start getting mad and stuff. Because no drivers like some contact from other drivers, so.
And then we head to the round of 12 where a new fresh slate, those 4 who got eliminated, they're already out. 1 second. Alright, sorry. Sorry, ECC, I had to mute you because we're doing something. By the way, and then we go to the round 12. We go to Sonoma, which I think is better than having it in the regular season. And then we head to Daytona. And, like I said, it's a historical track. You can win there, and then you could. It's like, in this league, in the Cup Series, in real life. Talladega is in the middle between this and that round. That is a great, great thing because think about it. Daytona is like Talladega, but like smaller, and if you win there, you're gonna be. It's gonna mean something special. Anytime you win at Daytona, it's gonna be special. Then we head to Kansas because everyone's gonna. Then Kansas is gonna be a little toughy, and then who do you think will probably win at Daytona? Because I have a gutsy feeling it might. Because think about it, Talladega will be our first restrictor plate, and then Daytona will probably be the last one of the season.
This is my prediction. I could be wrong. I could be right. The winner at the Brickyard may win at Daytona. That's what I think, because they're pretty much the same, almost the same. Long tracks and stuff like that. So you just never know.
And think about it. Remember, 2010, Jamie McMurray, he won the 500, then he won the Brickyard. I mean, what are the odds? What are the odds of winning at the Brickyard and then winning Daytona, or winning? Actually, it was the 500 and then the Brickyard. As a driver, Josh, what do you expect when we get to Daytona? Do you think we're going to expect the same thing that at Talladega, where late in the run we're going to have a big wreck, or are you going to say, or are we going to have the big wreck probably in the middle of stage 2?
I might have to say the opposite, because Daytona is kind of like a track where people usually like to go 3 wide, and then in the turns and they wreck, and then they usually like to hit the apron a lot, and then that's what causes their speed to go downhill and their momentum, and then they slow down a lot, and boom, and other drivers make contact with them. So I mean, we're going to see a lot of wrecks at Daytona, and then people going below the WO line. If they go below the WO line and they pass people while they're wrecking, that's totally legal, because you want to keep your car clean. You don't want to get like old destroyed and stuff like that. So that's totally legal, but you cannot go down below the WO line
to advance your position.
Yeah, but if they're wrecking,
that's totally fine.
You can do that. If they're like wrecking like all over the place and you're trying to dodge them and you don't have enough time and you have to go below the WO line, totally do it. And shoot, I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah. So in the playoffs, we may have damage on the playoffs, so that could be a big factor for some of these guys winning races. Like our former points leader, Awesome. He was, when we announced that we may have damage in playoffs, he was not happy, because he knew that's the reason why he kept winning all these races and stuff, because he was getting involved in these wrecks, and when the cautions came out, he was able to go down pit road, get some tires and stuff. So it's going to be a big factor in the playoffs. It's all about people who know how to drive, getting good chances. Like I'm predicting Nick could have a good chance. He can keep his car clean. Josh can keep his car clean. Strange can normally keep his car clean. A lot of the drivers know how to do that, but Awesome may have some struggles with that. Joey may have some struggles. So we have a lot of drivers who will have struggles and have problems at certain tracks. So I mean, I'm just excited to see what happened in the playoffs and see who would actually get their win that they need to secure their spot into the next round.
And going into these playoffs, Awesome's crew chief Drew Blickenster, he told me earlier this week. He said, Awesome's been really good, but then so many of these crew chiefs, you're like, you gotta make a call. You gotta make the call. If you're gonna get, it's gonna go crazy now. Like you said, damage, yeah, it may be on for some races, but we may not, and it may or may not be on, because depending on what track it might be, maybe, at Daytona, we could have damage. But
I personally think it would be a good idea to have it in the playoffs for like all the races and stuff.
Right.
Just to give the drivers a little feeling of what it's like and to be more cautious.
Right.
with other drivers and stuff, and they need to keep their cars clean and stuff to like for them to get used to uh, avoiding wrecks, trying not to make wrecks and stuff. Because a lot of these drivers will get mad at you if you wreck them.
Right. And now I just got word that next season we will have the preseason we will have the preseason Thunder next season. As I just got word, we will be having that next season. So as like remember back in the day where drivers used to just have their just nothing on them, just gray, just all that. So that will be starting next season. As I just got
and we may have a radioactive next season, maybe. Good possibility. So we can hear all the rages on the radio from all the drivers. So.
And as you know, going into these playoffs, I mean, you don't expect anyone to win. You don't expect anyone to be a Joey Logano and like. Let's say how 2015 Joey Logano went on to win those 3 playoff races in a row. You don't expect it because think about it. Going into the playoffs, you don't expect a first time. We may see a first time winner, we may not, but who knows?
Yeah, we will have to wait and find out. We might see a Logano and Kenseth. We may see like some some brawls happen on pit road. We may see some brawls on victory lane. You just never know.
And
some of these drivers could get really heated at other drivers. So we'll just have to wait and see.
This, as you know, we saw how Josh was after some of these races. He could not stand it. He was so close when he got screwed over a race. He could not handle it. I don't blame him. Being as a driver, I mean, yes, I understand his tempers, but I understand completely, it's just a race. You gotta get over it. It's not the end of the world. You can't lose your head for nothing. You just gotta keep your head up. But going now, round of 8, we're going to have Bristol, Gateway, Watkins Glen. That will be the round of 8. And it's going to go crazy, wicked fast, and then going to Road America to close it out. And that's going to go, it's going to go crazy, going fast, and yeah. ECC.
Yes.
This is a talk show. You are on right now. You have
I am?
Yep. So, welcome ECC to the NASCAR Heat 4 talk show.
Alright, hey.
So
hey guys.
This is my live stream on YouTube. So, you have anything to say? Because, going into these playoffs, you and your crew chief, Chad Knaus, were like talking about strategy.
Yeah, we're strategizing our way because we're not in the playoffs right now, but we're kind of.
Yeah, you are. You locked in. You got that.
Oh, I'm locked in?
Yeah, you gotta win.
Oh, yeah, alright. So we're locked in, but we gotta do. We gotta do it. We gotta do everything we can to have our racing. We gotta do everything we can in these last final races. I mean, the Super Speedway race is gonna be pretty crazy. But if we're able to do it, me and Chad Knaus should be able to hopefully be in the Final Four championship and just I'm not saying we're positive on winning a championship, but we're kind of there, So if we are close, we could, possibly might win the championship.
And we got word that next season you may take over Hendrick Motorsports because Nick is going to be doing Flex Seal Racing, as you know. You may take over for Hendrick.
Yes. If I take over Hendrick, then that would be a complete, it would be fun, and hopefully we should be able to, once I own it, I should have good drivers on my team, and it should work out perfectly.
Now, Josh, looking at these drivers who are winless, yes or no, one gets their first win.
Yes, we may see it at certain tracks like Indy restricted plates, maybe short tracks. We might have some Chase Elliott's out here at road courses. You just about never know.
Hey, GU, I have a question for you, Brett.
And my thing is, going into these races, we are just, as you heard ECC say, they aren't gonna give up. So, 48 never gave up, but now, it's close enough. But think about it. You gotta find your partner next week because you gotta find your tanning draft partner because we're heading to Talladega. We're heading to Talladega. You don't expect.
Hey, Nick.
Yes, sir.
Nick, should we see if we can either do a race tonight or maybe tomorrow?
I'm thinking we could try to Talladega tonight.
Possibly do it, and then we can start the playoffs either tomorrow on Veterans Day.
I could try to do that. Let's get some of these drivers in here. Let's. All right, hold on. I'm gonna mute everyone really quick.
Ever I believe in Snap-on for me was when I was battling GU at Homestead.
Bro, Chase was dominant.
Cole Custer. My championship rival.
Alright, let me hang up the phone.
Wait, it's my turn because I was told by Josh.
All right, hold on, everyone. Hold on one sec. I need to do Joey first, really quick. Let me just do Joey. Mute everyone. All right, this is. Oh, shit. Okay, so Joey, welcome to the talk show.
Good to be here.
All right, so going into the playoffs, you have, going into these or heading into these playoffs, you are good on points. Now, do you think, yes or no, someone new may get their first win? I've already asked Josh this. He said yes. Do you?
Yes, because I'm really good at Talladega. Like, the car, I usually am aggressive there, but... And sometimes wrecky. But it's all in the favor of going for Talladega.
But Joey, I have a question for you. Nick asked me this question earlier. Do you think the big one will happen earlier or later or towards the end of the race?
Well, I think it's gonna be like all 3 points of that race because everyone wants to win Talladega. It's a hard track. You saw in the actual fall race, they flipped.
Like Brendan Gaughan flying up in his pink South Point car. He pretty much almost died. We saw some other drivers flip. Like earlier on in the season, we saw Kyle Larson flip on the last lap. That was towards the end of the race. That was pretty much the last lap. We saw Jeffrey
this is why Talladega is crazy, and this is why everyone loves Talladega.
And then you see Kyle.
Talladega's going to be the biggest race this season. Patriot schemes will be allowed.
Wait, are we racing this? Are we gonna race it tomorrow? Cause it is better.
We'll race in the final race. Maybe
unless
tonight.
You guys want to do it tonight.
Tonight? No, I don't want to race really tonight.
Cause ECC said it's fine. I said it's fine. I think Nick says it's fine.
I don't know if I'm up really reading my answer.
Strange, we're doing a talk show, remember, but
Joey, if you have to, just mute your mic and
And I'll be quiet. I'll have my door shut. Basically, I'll try.
All right.
Fine. Fine. Let's go.
All right. So, all right. Listen. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I need you guys to do me a favor. If you have not subscribed to me, please subscribe to me. I would like 50 subscribers by Christmas. That will be great. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you're new. Please comment below what you want after. And it's Josh. Thank you very much for joining Joey ECC. We will be
I'll be able to play GTA for the next 7 days.
now. We will be doing
And
this.
GTA is not a sponsor.
I know, I'm saying.
This will be
Menards may be a sponsor soon if I stay in touch.
This will be after playoff race. We'll be doing this every time. So for Josh, for me, for Joey, for ECC, thank you all so much for watching. Have a blessed night, you guys.